Hello and welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 14th April 2021. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Palace Marketing, rehumanizing your marketing experience. My name is Sean. This week's news: Germany wants to stop WhatsApp sharing data with Facebook. The regulator in the city of Hamburg is seeking a quote, immediately enforceable order before May 15th, which is the day that WhatsApp requires us to accept this new terms, whereby in the terms states that WhatsApp is able to share some of the personal data with Facebook. And over concerns that policy changes could lead to the use of such data for wider marketing and advertising purposes. At almost 60 million users, WhatsApp has more active users than Facebook in Germany. The commissioner says, quote, "It is therefore all the more important to ensure that the high number of users, which makes the service attractive to many people, does not lead to an abusive exploitation of data power." Facebook says that accepting WhatsApp's updated terms of service, users are not agreeing to an expansion in our ability to share data with Facebook, and the update does not impact the privacy of their messages with their friends or family wherever they are in the world. So Facebook now says that all the data that should have been known to Facebook has already been known. The only difference is Facebook just wants to tally the Facebook users with the WhatsApp users, so they know who are the people on Facebook who are also using WhatsApp, in the hopes that they are able to kind of use this data, not the chats itself, because Facebook says that WhatsApp cannot access the contents of the chat, but Facebook will be able to know which businesses these users are chatting with, and based on the businesses and the industries, Facebook is able to articulate or kind of assume that these are the things that this person is interested in. Facebook keeps reiterating that this new term does not allow them to obtain and share more information, but I think on Germany's side, that what they are doing is actually they're trying to cross all the T's and dot all the I's, in case there are any stones unturned. They kind of get what Facebook is getting at, but what they want is to be able to get to the root of it so that surprises don't happen. Come May 15, if we do not agree to WhatsApp's new terms of use, we would be unable to use most of WhatsApp's functionalities. So we have exactly a month to decide whether or not we want to move to another platform or keep using WhatsApp. And if we were to keep using WhatsApp, we kind of understand what is it that we are, what is the contents of the terms that we need to agree to. Twitter tried to buy Clubhouse. Ooh. According to an article by Bloomberg, Twitter Inc. tried to acquire spunky audio-based startup Clubhouse for around $4 billion just last week. Since the deal fell through, Clubhouse did consider raising financing at the same valuation instead. With Spaces, Twitter Spaces, which is Clubhouse competitor, in the pipeline, it isn't clear why Twitter wanted to spend that money on Clubhouse. Perhaps they want to shut it down and absorb all the users to Twitter, because they do have a very cultish following, especially of tech startup leaders and tech founders and very influential people in the technology sphere in the US. Or perhaps they're struggling to build Spaces properly, and without buying Clubhouse, by buying Clubhouse, they could actually transfer the tech easier, because unlike Facebook, who has a lot of experience building video chat apps like Messenger and all that, Twitter kind of they have always been very focused in text, and they have only just moved into video, and that as well they're not very, very good at that. Uploading videos are a bit tedious here and there, and there are a lot of issues, and I guess because of that, I believe that they are hitting some roadblocks behind here and there, and they thought buying up Clubhouse will be able to solve all their problems and push them ahead of everybody else, which also, gets all their user base as well. But in any case, it's not happening, and they're back to building it their own way. Then we will see once Twitter Spaces reaches our shores, to see if it's comparable to Clubhouse. Was Clubhouse breached? Last Saturday, Cyber News reported that the personal data of 1.3 million Clubhouse users was scraped and posted on a popular hacker group, a forum. The data included names, social media profile names, and other data as well. The next day, Clubhouse said that this was not true, and in fact, a breach did not happen. According to Clubhouse CEO Paul Davison, all those data were public information from the app and APIs to begin with. He also said that the article from Cyber News was clickbait. Just last week, Cyber News also dropped a claim that 500 million LinkedIn users' private data were breached. LinkedIn also responded by saying no private member account data from their site was included in the leak. So all the leak was public data, as is the same as Clubhouse. So this is a bit of a thing. It seems that Cyber News is on a roll at desperately trying to get readers to visit their site. So if you were afraid that Clubhouse would have leaked any information, private information of yours to public, rest assured, it did not happen. But in any case, I would like to reiterate again, please use strong computer-generated passwords for all your social media accounts, actually all the accounts, and also keep it in a password manager. Facebook tests speed dating app. The company's NPE team has released a video speed dating app called Sparked. It puts users on a 4-minute video call with one another to gauge any potential. If both parties had a good time, they can schedule a 10-minute second date, at which they can exchange contact information to stay in touch after that happened. Facebook's NPE team is a special task force specialized at creating and testing experimental apps to see if any of them have potential to either become a function in their greater apps, the mainstream apps, or a standalone app itself. So far, very few NPE apps have made it to the mainstream app. I feel very few is actually an overestimate. I don't think any of them has ever made it to mainstream app. But yeah, all you need is just one to launch another Facebook wave, right? So they just have to keep testing and throwing spaghettis on a wall, and if one sticks, you get another major social media app. It's funny that they didn't think of Clubhouse first, right? In any case, that's all for Social Media Weekly this week. Social Media Weekly's podcast is available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube, and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. This is Social Media Weekly episode 14th April 2021. My name is Sean. Stay safe. See you next week. Au revoir.